Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending our webinar. My name is Andrew Townsend. I'm with eLearning Brothers. I'm the eLearning video evangelist here. Today we're going to be talking about how to infuse awesomeness into your sales training with customizable courseware. This webinar will be recorded, and we'll get a copy of it out to attendees following the webinar. Our guest today, we have Chris Willis, our Senior Product Manager over the Customizable Courseware with us today. Would you like to say hello, Chris?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
We also have Jeff Bird, a partner at Griffin Hill, with us today. Jeff, would you like to say hello?
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for having me, and it's a pleasure to be here.
We're very excited to have both of you with us today, and we're excited to talk about customizable courseware. As this webinar moves on, if you have questions during the webinar, we'll be ready to answer those questions in the questions panel. I'll try to get to as many of those as I can. We'll also field those questions to Chris and Jeff periodically, so feel free to use that questions panel. There's also going to be some polls and other interactions. We'll be asking for a show of hands. In your GoToWebinar control panel, there's a little raised hand button. At those points, just click that button and we'll take polls that way. It looks like several of you have already found that button. Thank you very much. Just so you know, one of the things we do like to do after a webinar is try to follow up as soon as possible. Sometimes it's just to get feedback. Most of the time we like to touch base and find out if anyone needs some one-on-one clarification about our webinars after the fact. In this case, we're also going to be sending you some information about our customizable courseware and some exciting new launches that Chris and Jeff will tell you about in a moment. So, without further ado, I'll go ahead and turn the time over to you, Chris.
Thanks so much, Andrew. Let's just jump in and get started, shall we? So what we have is today our agenda is we're going to do a little bit about the business case for sales training and just cover that very briefly. We're going to introduce our exciting new integrity sales system, customizable courseware offering. And we have a free gift for you, a sneak peek of our Freebie module from the Integrity Sales System, which is Build Your Sales Benefit Play, and we'll show you some screens from that and what you can look forward to when you do get that link in the email from us. And I'm going to turn it over to Jeff then and let him give an introduction of why we at eLearning Brothers decided to partner with the amazing folks over at Griffin Hill and give you a little bit of background about why the Integrity Sales System is so effective and proven and why we chose that for our next launch of Customizable Courseware. So before we really jump in and get into all that, let's do a little bit of a poll here. So if you can tell me, what is your role in sales training? Are you an instructional designer or trainer, learning manager? Are you an e-learning developer, a sales manager? Maybe you're on the business side, or you may just be an eLearning Brothers groupie. And if so, that's fabulous. Thank you and welcome. We love our groupies too. So please do the poll. Andrew?
Those responses are coming in. We'll go ahead and give you just a few more seconds to vote, maybe 5 of those seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, excellent. And here's those results, Chris. It looks like the majority of people here, 57%, are instructional designers, trainers, and learning managers. We also have 29% are e-learning developers. Surprisingly, we have no sales managers in our audience today.
Well, what I'm going to do is count on you all in the audience who are involved in training and instructional design. When you do get a hold of our freebie lesson, please pass that on to your sales organization because they're going to want to see this, I guarantee it. Second poll, how do you currently train sales in your organization? How do you train sales skills? Do you use e-learning? Do you do instructor-led training from classroom or virtual training? Maybe you do a blended approach. Maybe you bring in an outside sales coach or consultant, or maybe the answer right now and while you're here is, how do you currently train sales in your organization? Well, not very well yet.
All right, and those responses are coming in as well. I'll give you guys just a few more seconds. But Chris, I'll tell you that it looks like most people are using blended learning, which is great. just a few more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and those results. Yeah, so like I was saying, 52% are using blended learning, 15% are using instructor-led classroom and virtual classroom courses, 7% are using e-learning, and 19% are not doing that very well, they're saying.
You know, this is really interesting. I'm looking at this poll, and I used to come from the customs side, and so I understand the challenges in doing sales training. I'm really very pleasantly surprised at how many of you are taking a blended learning approach to sales training. And you're going to love Customizable Courseware for that, because it's really set up for blended learning. And for those of you who are not doing sales training very well, we can certainly help you out too. So let me give you a little bit of a background here and show you how. All right. Oh, one more thing. I'm so sorry. I put this one at the last minute. Please, this is where you raise your hand. Who's familiar with Customizable Courseware from our soft skills offering? Please raise your hand.
Give you guys a few seconds to raise your hand, but it looks like we're getting pretty low numbers. About 13 to 15% of people are familiar with eLearning Brothers course, Customizable Courseware.
Okay, good. So for a lot of you, this isn't going to be repeat information. For those of you who this is repeat information, just bear with me a moment and we'll get to something that's brand new for you. So let's go. All right, the business case for sales training, and specifically for our Integrity Sales System Library. A system is defined by being a set of principles or procedures by which you organize your work or organize how you do something. So the question that we ask is, what system is guiding your sales success? And if your answer to that is sales system, what sales system? Well, that's why we're here, and that's why we have something for you. That's why we partnered at eLearning Brothers with our friends at Griffin Hill and their amazing, proven integrity sales system, and we've baked that into our customizable courseware approach to offer you a set of fully customizable, effective, interactive, amazing, explosively visual, if I use enough superlatives yet to describe our customizable courseware offering, we put these two things together. So when you take something that's already been proven and effective as a system, and then you put it together with what we do at eLearning Brothers, you come up with something really, really amazing. And of course, I'm excited about it. So why Griffin Hill? The Griffin Hill system, this is just one of the many amazing testimonials about the Griffin Hill Integrity Sales System. Within the first year of using it, Xerox Connect rose their revenue by over 300%. And it was the system. Dr. Scott Baird, who was the founder of Griffin Hill and the author of the Integrity Sales System, he says, it was an accident, it wasn't luck, it was through hard work and following a system. So the Integrity Sales System Library, for the first time through our customizable courseware, we're going to be making it possible for you to bring this system in yourself, to your organization, and train your sales force. The system comes with 11 pre-built sales training modules. I see I have a little bit of a problem with my CO on case open. I apologize for that. But those are actually the 6 routines for which the modules of the sales training for the Integrity Sales System are built around. And the system has the 6 routines. Each routine has a number of plays. Each of these is trained in a very specific order as part of a system, but it's also very versatile and can be applied to any situation. Once your folks learn these plays, they'll be able to take them and use that to boost your revenue and increase sales. So, Customizable Courseware, Integrity Sales System, Customizable Courseware at a glance. 11 modules offered in 3 of the most popular e-learning tools, along with all of the classroom guides and slides, fully customizable source files that you can blend and you make interactive. The classroom materials, you get the facilitator guide, the participant workbook, the PowerPoint slides, the printable job aid, and the quiz in the e-learning format. The job aids for these modules will be supporting all of the routines and plays in the Integrity Sales System. The e-learning source code is available in Adobe Captivate, Lectora Inspire, and Lectora Online, and Articulate Storyline. So why this matters to your training organization? All of these, the source for these e-learning courses is built natively in each one of these tools. You're probably not going to want to much customize the system because the system is the system. However, you can certainly build in the things to make it, customize it for your specific organization and add the things that are your secret sauce in sales. You can change the examples if you like. You can do that yourself, or you can work with Griffin Hill. They'll come in and consult with you and help you change that up so you know how to customize these modules exactly in a way that's going to be optimally effective for your organization. Each module will save your developers over 180 hours or 4 weeks of design and development time per course. The learning that you get with Customizable Courseware, it's fully blendable. We build using the same design matrix and framework for our learning, for the e-learning and the instructor-led. So if you want to take part of the instructor-led and deliver that as, say, a webinar or in a classroom, and then take another part of the e-learning and deliver it to your distributed sales force, you absolutely can do that. It's all there. You get it all, and it's ready to roll, ready to put into your LMS and rock and roll. It's modular. The interactions can stand alone, or you can swap them out, customize them. And we build each e-learning module to be fully responsive in the way that that tool handles responsive learning for mobile. So let's take a sneak preview right now, unless we have any questions. Any questions, Andrew?
No questions at this time.
Perfect. So that's Customizable Courseware at a glance. Let's take a look at the Integrity Sales System library. And what I want to do is give you a sneak preview of the free preview, the free freebie module that we're going to be offering to you in the email that you're going to get following this webinar. So the module that you're going to get, it's a portion of one of the routines of the Integrity Sales System. This module will help your salespeople differentiate between features, advantages, and benefits. It explains the importance of focusing on benefits. It will help your salespeople avoid one of the biggest mistakes that they can make when pitching your product, and it will help them build a personalized benefits play to intensify your prospect interest. And that's all in this free module that we're going to be sending you a link to. So the freebie module is, the benefit play module is part of just one small part of the case open routine in the Griffin Hill playbook. And where we start with this, we're going to do this one interaction, and where we start with that is telling your sales folks that, reminding them that talking about features is not the same as making a full benefit play. You can't, as Cameron tells us, you cannot leave your features naked. You must clothe them with benefits. So the tool that's offered in the Integrity Sales System for doing that is, and the value of that is. Now let's see how and the value of that is works. You start with a feature, put it in the top of the funnel, and you ask and the value of that is. Now, in the module, up until this point, you would have been, your salespeople will be asked to describe some of the features of your product and some of the benefits of your product. When they get to here, now we're going to test to see if what we really have is a feature or a benefit. So the example we use is put a feature into the top of the funnel, keep asking, and the value of that is we've introduced them to the 5 Ps so that they know what the we know what they're measuring against and what customers are looking for in when we're giving them the benefits. So we start with here a feature. We compound interest on your IRA daily, and you do not pay tax until withdrawal. Well, that's pretty cool. And the value of that is your interest remains tax-free until you retire. Well, that's advantageous. And the value of that is your taxes are lower while your earnings are higher. Well, that's also advantageous. That's a great advantage. And the value of that is you save more money right now to enjoy a secure and happy retirement later. So now we're really getting to what does this mean to me? And here's our 5 Ps. We're tapping into the profit, the prestige, the pleasure, self-preservation, and pain relief all at once here. When we finally drill down through and the value of that is. So that's just one example of one of the interactions that's in our freebie. But to be honest with you, I'm the expert in e-learning, but what you really need to hear from to really talk about the Griffin Hill approach and the integrity sales system, I'm going to turn this over to Jeff because he can do a much better job of that than I can. So Jeff?
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that wonderful introduction. Hey, I was thinking last night when I first saw the slide set that we would have it sit on that introductory page for a moment, because your pages, each one of the slides that you have is so much more impressive than the plain Jane stuff that I sent you last night. Nevertheless, it's the content that we're talking about, and we are pleased to be here. Hey, as Chris has stated, Griffin Hill, we call ourselves the Achievement Company. Our sales systems are about increased success and performance. We are so confident that the system is scientifically sound and proven over the years that we offer to all of our users a promise of benefit. Here it goes. Number 1, that you'll act with greater confidence, speed, and persistence. Number 2, that you'll outperform competitors. Number 3, now I realize this is not what you're reading on the screen right now, but I'm just kind of giving you an overview here. Number 3, that you'll master at least one skill that will be immediately, that'll increase your sales results immediately. Number 4, create a lively sales culture. And number 5, discover the method or the magic of method. It will create a positive and optimistic culture that elevates success. So with that said, now you're looking at our first slide set here. What do you get? As a client of the Griffin Hill Integrity Sales System, what do you get? Well, here are some of the benefits. I'm going to highlight these 4. Number 1, a proven system, as Chris has referenced. Number 2, duplicate and replicate best practices. We'll talk about that for a moment. Number 3, we use a common language, and we'll tell you why in a moment. And number 4, focus on velocity, not activity. Okay, next slide, please. In our system, let's talk about the proven system. Dr. Scott Baird is really an expert and a master on research and bringing the numbers together to help develop these kinds of systems. This particular system is a decade long as far as the research study. It includes companies like InsideSales.com, LegalZoom, LexisNexis, Xerox Connect, I think Chris mentioned that one earlier, Vivint, iHeartMedia, Magellan Health, and others. over 3,500 participants. Now, participants are sales people that have been involved in the research. Over 144,000 cases. Cases are clients that have been involved in the collection of the data and the research, and over 466,000 events. Events are selling interactions. You may recall back when Chris was showing the 6 steps of the Griffin Hill integrity sales system. As you move your clients through the pipeline, as they go from one step to another. For example, as they move from the case open to the needs audit, we call that a selling interaction or an event. So you can see that there's a tremendous amount of data that has been gathered. And the bottom line is we know how to stack the odds of success in your favor. All right, next slide. We're so thrilled here at Griffin Hill to be partnering with eLearning Brothers. We love the platform that they take, Becoming a Rockstar. Become a rockstar in your business. Become a rockstar by embracing the Griffin Hill proven system. Let me share with you a quote that I love to use about taking control of your destiny. Destiny is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. It's not a thing to be waited for. It is a thing to be achieved. And that is quoted by or written by William Jennings Bryan. So if you look at a proven system and embrace a system like we have here at Griffin Hill, it's up to you. You're really the one that's in charge. Engineer your outcomes. Know how many closures you want and go get them. Know what you want to invest in and get the cash to do it. Know how much commissions you want and make it happen. John Green at Digital Trike needed to invest in his company growth. He used the system and planned his success and got the exact amount of money needed. Now, next slide, please. Part of the success of our sales system is based on principles of case study. Studying specific cases yields better training. Case study learning model is the cornerstone of Harvard Business School. It constitutes 50% of a student's grade. And so benefit number 2 is duplicate and replicate. We want to learn from past experiences, both successes and stumbles. So as we look back at events and cases in our sales program, or in our sales experience, I should say, if we had a great success, well, we take it and we break it down to its component parts. We understand why it was a success, and then we make a plan to be able to duplicate that success. And we do the same thing with stumbles. We break it down to its component parts. We identify where things went wrong. We figure out how to fix it, and then we take action, we implement. So as you can see, it looks like I made a mistake in the bullet points there. That should be number 1 and number 2. But we take top performers, we transfer their skill and their knowledge to other reps. We duplicate. We know skills will help increase outcomes. As you can see, Dale Nguyen at SEO.com increases personal performance by more than 350%. This increase in his activity and his success took him to a top performer, then it took him to a manager. Next slide, please. All right, benefit number 3, common language. Now, think back again on the slide set that Chris showed a moment ago where she displayed the 6 steps of the sales system, the case open, the needs audit, the solution presentation, and so forth. Within our system, the labels, the titles that we have, we're all using them together. So we have a common language. It allows the handoffs from SDRs to AEs to get a lot stronger. It engages managers. They can do more because of the ease of the system. Know what training is needed for top-line revenue growth. As you can see, Jeff Kettle of Entrada was able to build a foundation with his team from the sales flow. The SDRs and the AEs were now on the same page. He was able to hire more reps because he could onboard and train to the whole group, not just one-on-one. Okay, next slide, please. And we're now to the benefit number 4, focus on velocity. not activity. We've all been involved. When you're in sales, we've all been involved in sales systems that measure activity. The number of dials made, the number of people talked to, the number of leads generated. That would be an example of kind of front-end measurement. At the back end, number of closes made, amount of revenue generated, and so forth. And while these measures are important, the process between the measures often gets ignored. We call it the black hole. That process is that 6-step sale process that, once again, Chris illustrated earlier. And so benefit number 4 is focus on velocity. We're focused on that center part that gets ignored, but really is the key of progress. It's the key of productivity. And velocity to us is speed and movement and flow. Speed in terms of shortened sales cycles. A major focus within our system is proficiency, making sure that your time and efforts are going toward the best activities. Movement, and by movement we mean progress, milestones, achievement. We're talking about moving the chains down the field. We're not trying to score a touchdown each and every play, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep momentum. We're trying to keep the chains moving, and that's where our play set comes into play. And it also causes us moments of achievement. We can stop and we can celebrate successes as we move along the way, which are awesome motivators as well. The plays are mobilizers that help us keep things moving. And then flow. And as you can see, smooth transition between steps. Equinox IT closed more revenue in 4 months than they would in a whole year by implementing Schedule Next Event. Now, leave it here for just a minute, Chris, if you will. The last play of each step in the sales process is Schedule Next Event. If you could have one big takeaway from the Griffin Hill part of our presentation here today, let it be Schedule Next Event. To us, Schedule Next Event is composed of 4 pieces. Number 1, date. Number 2, place. Number 3, time. So those 3 components, date, place, and time, must be certain. They have to be identified and they have to be set. And then step number 4 is purpose, mutually understood. In your pipeline, if you will use the S&E as I've just defined in your pipeline and master that one skill, it will show or yield immediately increased sales results. And so we encourage you to pay attention to that as you go through the lessons and become a master of using S&E. Okay, Chris, go ahead and move me to the next slide. Okay, let me kind of summarize by sharing with you kind of a model or a sequence that we use throughout the integrity sales system and all of our training and all of our tools. At the conclusion of every lesson, every training, every instruction session, we exercise principles of learning elaboration. And so when you participate in the system, at the end of each event, there will be an invitation by the course if it's automated, an invitation by an instructor if you're in front of one, that will invite you to reflect and write. What stood out to you? What do you want to remember? What was important to you? And so we invite you to jot down 3 to 5 things. Then if you'll state what your desired outcome is, what do you want to have happen as a result of what you've heard, what your experience has just been? And then from those items, come up with an action item. Maybe an action item or 2, 1 to 2 items, something that you can commit to, something that will help you achieve what you have just learned and your desired outcome. And then when the next session convenes, then we'll revisit what those action items were. We'll see how you did. It may be cause for celebrations. If you had a success, we want to be able to acknowledge that and celebrate. If there were pains, if there were some stumbling blocks, then we'll offer helpful observations so that they can be fixed. But it's that but it's that model right there of reflect and write, desired outcome, action item, and so forth, that is so powerful and a simple tool that helps the productivity and the sales success to increase, and also in general the human behavior. Well, hey, Chris, thank you for giving me the platform for just a minute and allowing me to talk a little bit about some of the benefits that we have observed and that we have gathered as far as proofs and support for the integrity sales system. We're so thrilled to be a part of the eLearning Brothers and your ability to be able to get our system out there in front of potentially so many users. We're so thrilled to be a partner. Hey, the time is back to you. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you so much, Jeff. I really appreciate that, and it's a fabulous partnership. I hope the folks on the call can see. Does anybody have any questions, either about Customizable Courseware or about the Integrity Sales System?
I'm not seeing any questions coming in, which usually means you guys were right on the dot with your information.
Fabulous. I'll just leave this here with a quote, and just as a closer, the Griffin Hill system is patented and proven. It will change your life. If you follow it exactly, you will see unrivaled growth and upward changes in your economic life. That's what sales training is all about, and that's what we at eLearning Brothers and our partners, of course, at Griffin Hill, they stake their entire business on it. But that's why we come together, is because we want to offer you the tools for your success. We're very good. We have a very long track record here at ELB of offering you tools that help you with your learning success. Now, partnering with Griffin Hill, we can bring you tools to help you with your sales and business success as well. And it's a very, very exciting time for all of us involved in this product. We want you to watch your email. Actually, I'll turn it back over to you, Andrew, and you can give a formal closing for us. How about that?
Sure, that works. Like Chris was saying, check your email. In the next few hours, we'll send you a copy of this webinar, as well as a few links to the current customizable courseware, some samples, other cool information, some free handouts and goodies for you, so to speak. But again, check your email in the next few weeks as well, and we'll send you. Chris, would you like to describe a little bit more of what they'll be getting in a few weeks?
Actually, it's next week, and so be watching. You're going to be getting the screen that you see there is the first screen from the example interaction that I showed you, and that interaction is in our Build Your Sales Benefit Play module from the Customizable Courseware Integrity Sales System and Customizable Courseware Library. In that module, you will have the e-learning of that module in all three tools. You will have the instructor-led training guides and slides, and you will also have the printable job aid. So what it is in miniature, a subset of one of the modules of the full Integrity Sales System, and we're offering that as a free gift to you. And that's going to be the link that's going to be available to you in the email that you'll get next week. This is so new. This webinar, thank you for attending. You're actually here before even our official launch, which is this Thursday at an event with our partners at Griffin Hill. So that's why you'll get your link next week and look for it. It's an amazingly valuable little course module that you can use right now and get the benefit of this portion of the Integrity Sales System.
And if you really just can't wait till next week to see what this e-learning looks like, you can call the number that's on the screen or send an email to info@elearningbrothers.com. And we'd love to give you a demo of the already in place customizable courses so that you can take a look at those and see kind of how they're built, how they're fully interactive, how they're customizable, things like that. So do call in and we'd be happy to give you a demo of those. You can always reach us at info@elearningbrothers.com or at the phone number on the screen. You can visit elearningbrothers.com to take a look at them on your own if you'd like. Again, thank you. Big thank you to Jeff for visiting with us today and presenting for us. This has been great. We've had a lot of positive feedback already, but as an audience, be looking for that email today and next week. And thanks everybody for joining us. We hope you enjoyed and will enjoy future webinars.